dear soldiers, officers, dear friends. I would like to say a few words about Canada, Latvia and NATO battle group that you are about to join. Thank you to all those who have prepared the way for the enhanced forward presence in Latvia. And a very warm thanks to you who will personally be contributing to NATO's presence in Latvia and visibility in our region of Northern Europe. In June 2020, 3 years have passed since Canadian-led troops were first deployed in Latvia, and you are very welcome to continue. What is Latvia? My personal answer is that Latvia is both an idea and a political reality. But historically, this has not always been the case at the same time. The last 100 years saw brutal invasions, oppression and destruction from external powers, usually by our big neighbours. But still, we persisted again and again. Defence and freedom have been closely connected in Latvia's turbulent history and are ever more important for all of Europe since the Russian invasion of Ukrainian Crimea in 2014. And so, we warmly welcome Canada's contribution to global peace and stability. With Canadian deployment to Latvia and the ongoing presence in Ukraine, Canada is helping to deal with new threats and dangers aimed at the heart of Western values, rule of law and democracy. Timing is important here, and that's why we are happy to have the enhanced forward presence in the Baltics and Poland. It is solidarity in action and exemplifies precisely what NATO is. More than 2/3 of NATO's members are taking part 24 hours a day, 365 days a year to keep our values alive. The Latvian armed forces are proud to host 10 of these nations. We can all see that NATO is a community of like-minded nations working together to keep the peace. When one member needs support, the rest will come to help, to get their back. These deployments are everything that is right about NATO, and they are only getting stronger. I have had the pleasure of meeting many diverse communities in Canada who feel a close connection to the countries around the Baltic Sea and Europe in general, through history, family roots and friends. For these communities, Canada's support is extremely important. In these times where we face multiple challenges, including a global pandemic, the situation is not easy, but requires permanent attention and monitoring. Truth and facts are often under threat these days. We are up against extremely well-funded, well-oiled, state-controlled media. This propaganda skillfully muddles the truth so much so that even well-educated people can become disoriented. In this regard, you will assess the reality not by reading about it, but by being there and seeing it firsthand. In this sense, you will become an antidote to disinformation. You will know that you saw with your own eyes. You will be in a position to get the story straight. This enhanced defensive presence, this deployment benefits all our friends and allies across Europe. As a former historian, the lessons that I have learned from the past, such as the Hitler-Stalin Pact in 1939 to carve up Europe, triggering the start of the World War II, coupled with the aggressive attempts to redraw European borders in recent years, remind me that we need to do all that we can to eliminate the temptation that some people may have to annex territory that does not belong to them. NATO's decision to deploy these battle groups came after Russia placed 3 new divisions in close proximity to NATO's eastern frontiers. And as we can clearly see, there have been many benefits from the enhanced forward presence battle groups. This deployment has opened up an entirely new world of cross-cultural collaboration and communication between NATO members. Opportunities for development between European and our transatlantic neighbours. Soldiers and officers in the field are making important discoveries during everyday training on, for example, how to make kit from different nations to ensure that tanks roll out, troops are fed, and communication are solid. All is working and working well. Dear friends, Latvia is about to become your home away from home. Latvians are proud of their own soldiers, and they will look upon you as honorary countrymen and women, standing up for our land and nation. I give big thank you from my heart, and I speak not just for myself, but for Latvians in Latvia and more than 20,000 Latvians that are living in Canada. Most of them came here seeking a safe haven in dark times. You are from a country that Latvians like and respect. Polls show that Latvians in Latvia see themselves as connected with Canada and drawn to it as a land of promise, and that because they like that Canadians are friendly and tough, but fair. Then there is also the hockey connection, our common love for this undoubtedly great game. The first official hockey game in Latvia was played on 15th of February of 1909 in Riga. Dear friends, I know that you will be at your best, and please allow me to extend my warmest thank you to you and to your families for your contribution to Latvia, to Latvian-Canadian relations, and to the alliance. The Canadian Prime Minister, during his visit to Latvia, showed full commitment to continue the work we started together. We look forward to strengthen all of it. Together, we are united in our resolve to protect alliance territories and prevent conflict. For me, serving as ambassador of Latvia to Canada and having had the honor to meet Canadians from every province and territory, it makes sense that this country, Canada, which sees diversity as strengths, has had so much success leading the most diverse of all NATO battle groups. We welcome Canada's contribution to Euro-Atlantic defense and are honored that Latvia is a host country for the Canadian-led NATO battle group. Canada is confirming that this is ready to stand up and fight for our common values in the face of those who seem uncertain about the distinctions between good and evil. It also demonstrates that Canada is ready to square off with those who unfortunately have not learned the lessons of history. More than ever, people around the world seek progress, prosperity, innovation, and peace, not the dark ages or geopolitics from a bygone era. We need a foundation of customary international law and rules-based order under our feet. We need to live by common sense and by the common values that guide the way by which we already live. Personally, I'm happy to see Canada so prominently represented, particularly in Europe. Your presence and leadership in NATO and in the Baltic region is important and highly appreciated by all. I think that it is truly important to look beyond the immediate horizon toward a better time. But it's just as important to face our realities. The life and the freedoms that we all enjoy were built and fought for by our families and friends. They are precious and we must not take them for granted. They require our constant vigilance and defense. Thank you for joining us and being with us in support of the independence that we all hold dear. This is independence for which a dear price was paid. Independence that should not be treated lightly or taken for granted. The new year is a good time to make a resolution to ourselves, to hold the line on our own personal principles, the value that we place on the rules-based order in which all countries, big and small, can coexist, cooperate, and thrive. We are honored to be hosting you soon with the many talents and energy that you bring with you. I'm proud to serve alongside you, men and women in uniform, as one of the great privileges of my life. Have a safe trip. Thank you for your service.